Good morning, everybody. I filmed a video as I was doing my makeup yesterday. Don't know if I'm gonna upload it because I didn't really like it, but I thought it's a great time to just like talk and you know, as I'm doing my makeup, talk about stuff. Don't mind my blazer in the background. Yeah, I'm getting ready for the day, so I thought I would use it as an excuse to thought dump. Also, I am slightly ill, so I'm sorry for the sniffing and stuff. Yeah, so I think I want to talk about eating and eating struggles. It's something that I haven't really touched on, but to be honest, I would say it is a huge driver in why I wanted to start my YouTube channel, because my kind of anxiety first made its appearance through eating issues, and that was kind of the catalyst, is that what you say? I think I need a bit of darker as well. Yeah, it was kind of the catalyst, and I've said in so many videos that I am going to film a video about my eating disorder, but I don't know if I'm scared, but it's a lot and I kind of don't like to relive that time in my life. So I'm kind of going to talk about it but not go in full depth. Also, my new thing is rubbing in my foundation with my hands. Molly does it and it looks flawless and it just feels so different. So yeah, like when I was that age, literally I just kept thinking, you know, all I needed was someone to talk to about it, because it just, I was very young. I was 9, 10, 11. I had no idea what was going on with me, and I just wanted to like understand, because it was like a bit more of a taboo subject back then than it is now, because social media was kind of still on the rise, and I know there are so many people out there these days that talk about like eating disorders and stuff. But yeah, like it's basically one of the reasons why I wanted to start a YouTube channel, because those were some of the really like darkest, loneliest years, because I just thought I was crazy. And I think recently I just feel like it's become more apparent in my life that just the amount of things that I am doing that I don't even think twice about, and like little me would be shaking in her boots, because I really truly thought I would kind of have food issues for the rest of my life and not really be able to eat like a normal person. But I want to tell anyone who is struggling with their eating that you can get through it and you will not be plagued by it forever. I kind of just told my narrative for so long, like that was my narrative, that I struggled with food and I had a weird relationship with food, and over the years it has diminished very, very, like in huge amounts. There is so much more to life, and there is so much joy to be had from food and the experiences around food. And you know, some of my like greatest memories are dinners with friends or drinks with friends or anything like that, and little me would not have been able to do any of that, because I was so rigid about what I ate, where I ate it, who I ate it with. Like I had a lot of food OCD, as well as just like trying to control what I was eating, and I have extreme emetophobia, so that kind of also played a part in my kind of OCD of food. It's very nuanced, and again, maybe one day I will sit down properly and talk about it, but I don't want to right now. But yeah, like I just feel like there has been so much since being in Paris, like just eating things that I don't think twice about and really intuitively eating, which I honestly never ever thought possible for me. I was so stuck in my ways. There was a big period of time where I was just terrified of food. I was just terrified of it, but I was also obsessed with it because I was restricting myself. So all I could do was think about it because I was starving, but I also was so scared of it, and it didn't bring me any joy. It brought me so much stress and anxiety. And now, one of the biggest joys in my life is eating good food with friends, having drinks with friends, you know, like having coffees, having cakes. Like, I would never have allowed myself to do any of that. And there is just so much more to life. And just so many things. I just thought I would never be able to eat when I was hungry. And like today, I literally had a second breakfast because I went to the gym, and then when I came home I was hungry, and it's still the morning, but I just made myself a second breakfast. And that would have been so out of bounds. No, we'll just go hungry, like years ago. But now you know, it's been really hard, and I am not I am not saying this lightly. You know, my eating disorders plagued my disordered eating plagued me for 10 years. Like it's still, there's still things that are present, but just so much less impactful of my life. And I had intense CBT, ACT therapy. Like I did have help, especially when I was very, very ill. So I didn't do this alone, but the only way to face your fears is to face your fear. Like the only way to get over your fears is to do it, and you have to do it over and over and over and over again. And then once you get past that initial kind of mountain, you start to see the joy, and you start to see that nothing horrible happens, and you're kind of opened to this whole new section of life that you were not a part of for so long. And kind of just like, this is just like a message to younger me that it gets better. I thought that I would always, I thought that as soon as I looked at a banana or a chocolate bar, I would instantly be thinking about the calories in it. I thought that was just how it was going to be for the rest of my life. I don't think about, like, it does, it's there, but it doesn't like influence anything. You know, I could probably still list a lot of the calories and a lot of things because that was kind of one of my obsessions. But it doesn't come into my, it just doesn't. It's so kind of almost just there in the fog of my brain. And it doesn't, it's not the first, it's not, because I used to think, okay, maybe it'll be the first thing that comes to my brain, but I'll be able to kind of talk it down. It doesn't even come into my brain. Or if it does, it's so quiet. Again, I don't really know how, and I'm definitely not entirely cured. There are still things I struggle with that I don't really want to go into, but like I still struggle. I don't think it affects my life as much at all, but there are still things that come into my head, so you know, it is still a work in progress, but on the whole, you know, some of the thoughts that plagued me daily, don't even think about it. And I remember, you know, because I was so scared of being sick, so I was so scared of how the food I ate was prepared and if it was in date and if it was cooked right. You know, my mom would say to me, you're gonna miss out on so much, because, you know, what happens if your friends invite you for dinner at university and you can't eat, you can't go, and you know, having a meal cooked by your friends and having like a dinner party is such a joy. And you know, my mom was just like, how are you gonna cope with that? And I genuinely didn't believe that like that was something that was possible for me, and especially possible without having kind of a full-on breakdown and panic in my brain, because again I would be so kind of focused on or worried, I wouldn't enjoy it because I would just be worried the whole time. Whereas now at the age of 22, I have experienced many dinner parties, many meals that I have not taken any part in cooking, and you know, baked goods that other people, this is another thing, I would never eat baked goods people made, like, and now I have so many times, and it is a joy, like an absolute joy. And I think when you know what it's like to be on the other side, it is one of the things that makes me feel so alive, being able to eat with friends and, you know, be normal, because for so many years I wasn't. Just got a text, my dad's saying a new milk frother is coming today. That's good for them. Yeah, and I just think it does take work. It is a battle of the mind, but I often film TikToks about kind of stuff that if you told little me I was doing, she would not believe it, you know, because I truly thought that I was just gonna have food issues forever, and constantly, you know, I was so embarrassed by it. I was so like ashamed, because again, the age I was at, I didn't know anyone who had food issues. I didn't even know what an eating disorder was. I didn't know any of that. And I felt just so stupid to not be able to do something that came so naturally to other people. So if you also struggle, you are not stupid. It is literally an illness, and some people don't understand it, and that's okay, because the people that matter do. And I know, and I'm sure so many other people who struggle with eating issues also know, that it's really hard, and it's not your fault. It's not, like, it's horrific, and you're literally battling a demon in your brain. Yeah, you're not alone, and you're not crazy, because there are other people like me who have been through it. And there is the other side to arrive to. And because for so long I kind of thought, because I was very ill, like I was very thin, very ill, I kind of thought, okay, like maybe I'll be able to eat again and I'll be able to live, but I won't ever have a normal relationship with food and I won't ever reap joy from it. Whereas I've gone so far beyond that, that like, you know, I eat enough to sustain my weight, to be healthy. I'm more aware of myself when I know that I'm not eating enough, like when I'm going through periods where I need to feel myself more. It doesn't terrify me. So yes, I do that, but also food is so joyous to me. I have like, it's just such a good, it should be treasured. And I really hope that anyone else out there who is struggling gets to one day, you know, feel the joy of eating a cake that your friend made, you know, a freshly baked scone, like, is just beautiful. And being able to listen to your body, because again, my body was so messed up that I didn't really know when I was hungry. I didn't know, it just felt like everything was off. So I found it, I had to like tell myself when to eat, or just not really, I wouldn't ever know what I fancied. You know, if you're like, oh, what do I want for lunch? That was never an option for me, because when you're so rigid and when you have so many anxieties, you can't really ask yourself that, because your brain will automatically be like, oh, you can't have this, you can't have this, you can't have this. Whereas now, I'll literally sit there and go, okay, what do I want for my dinner? And be able to feel and understand what I want for dinner. This might sound crazy to people who haven't struggled with eating, but I also think part of it is being around people who have a very good relationship with food helped me so much. Like I'm the fourth, my three best friends, they helped me in ways that they would never understand and never know, because they were just being themselves. They were just eating normal dinners, eating normal lunches, but being surrounded by them and seeing that it was just such a normal, joyous thing for them helped me so much. I can't even begin to describe, like, that they helped me love food again. They did, in the most subtle ways. And it does happen in such a subtle way, because it is a slow process. It doesn't happen overnight. You know, I'm talking about years, but it is possible. And it's one of those things where you'll suddenly just sit there and go, oh, you know, I'm eating an ice cream and I'm not worried about how many calories are in it, or if I've already had chocolate today, I'm just eating an ice cream because this is good. It is so precious, and it makes you appreciate food and food experiences in such a different way, because you know what it's like to be so absent from them. And yeah, I definitely will deep dive properly into a lot of the food issues that I had. It's just a very long story, but I would like to, because if other people, my food issues were very nuanced, so but I'm sure you were never alone, and other people probably did struggle with similar things. But yeah, so I would definitely do that. But I just wanted to come and chat, and just, especially me right now, living in Paris, eating fresh bread, like pastries. I wish I could just hug little me and tell her that one day you will get so much joy from food, and you will look forward to food as much as the normal person. And anyone else that's out there struggling, like, I know exactly what it is like to be plagued by food anxieties, and you are not alone. Like, you are just not. I don't talk about it a lot, but I've had, you know, many horrific years with it. No, why is my battery gonna die? Okay, I'm gonna finish my TED talk there then, because the battery is about to give up on me, but it does get better and you will do things that you couldn't believe you could do. So please stick with it and keep fighting, because the joy of food and everything is so worth it. So worth it. Okay, there's light at the other side. I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.